Welcome back to the channel. Uploads have been a little dry these last 2 weeks, but the schedule will go back to normal this coming week. This is a new segment on the channel where we combine Photoshop and facial aesthetics by morphing faces to the supposed ideal Marquardt mask. The mask is a geometric mask developed by American surgeon Dr. Stephen Marquardt. It was developed using the golden ratio and ideal cephalometric values, much like the ones we use on this channel, and has masks for different races and genders. What I personally like about it is that it doesn't have a strong mathematical bias. A lot of transformation masks and patterns have bias towards making every face look a certain way. This mask, once set for the face, conforms to its outline and improves the face while still retaining its face shape and ethnic phenotype. In this episode, it's Aussie actress Rose Byrne. She already has quite a heart-shaped face, so that should be the main focus of the mask, to emphasize the face shape and her feminine features. The way the mask works, it's set to a certain point, like the physical eyeball, which itself doesn't deform. Even in facial growth, the eyeball stays the same size throughout maturity, so it's a good reference point to use. Once the mask is overlaid, the facial contour can be adjusted. First by going around the outside and slimming the face, which is the easy part. Now, using the warp tool, the entire eye can be deformed to suit the more aggressive downturned shape. In other words, the canthal tilt is made more positive. Notice how the eyes themselves are not very downturned, but the eyebrows are. In general, data from Rhea et al. Shows that Caucasians have the lowest canthal tilt out of all of their racial counterparts. The mask takes this into account, so her face still looks like her, but with the ideal amount of tilt at 4 degrees. Other masks use a one-size-fits-all approach, which is very heavily biased. Another important point to talk about, Rose has generally solid under-eye contour, but the mask requires the lower eyelid to be higher up on the eye to produce narrower, more cat-shaped eyes. This is quite difficult to do in Photoshop, as moving the lower eyelid deforms the entire eye in the liquify tool. One limitation of this mask is that it won't work very well on people with excessive scleral show, because the lower eyelid needs to be cut out and placed on top of the eyeball, which is hard to get right, especially as the contour changes. Moving along, the eyebrows are being filled in. Dark, thick, and downturned eyebrows are obviously attractive, as most women with makeup can tell you. The eyebrow itself is being cut out, angled positively to get a more masculine shape, and then being blended back in with the original so that it fades naturally in, especially near the eyebrow ends, so it doesn't look like you penciled in your eyebrows with makeup, but rather you were born with it. Whenever you use the liquify tool, it creates blur zones. It's a concept I always talk about on the channel, and one way to hide that is by going over these blur zones with a noise filter, so that it texturizes the area and makes them more realistic. At this point, the contour of the face is mostly done, and it's more skin retouching and texture for realism. So if you've enjoyed this type of content, or if there's a face you want us to edit, let us know. These videos take a lot of time, so please do subscribe to the channel, don't be a lurker. And lastly, follow the brand on Instagram at Ku Studio, where we post a lot of the finished products of these edits and some other morphs that we don't always make a video about.